Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the sources so you don't have to, giving you those core insights. Today we're diving into something, well, surprisingly specific, eco-friendly detergents. But here's the interesting part, we're looking at it through a gardener's eyes. Yeah, sometimes the best stuff comes from unexpected places, like our source. Notes on Home Improvement, Part 99.
Mm-hmm.
So, our mission really is to follow the journey of someone named Aang. Aang switched from, regular dish soap to an eco-friendly one. And what's really compelling is how this kitchen choice connects directly to their DIY garden sprays. We'll get into the ingredients, the benefits Aang noticed, and what it all might mean for you, especially if you think about what goes into your home and maybe even onto your plants. Okay, so let's picture Aang's usual routine first. Before this switch, Aang was using a standard conventional dish detergent, not just for dishes, which is normal, but also mixed into homemade garden remedies. Pretty resourceful, actually.
Yeah, and that immediately makes you ask, well, why? Why use dish soap in the garden at all? Often people use mild soap solutions for pests like aphids. It sort of suffocates them without harsh chemicals.
Yeah.
Or sometimes as a spreader sticker,
Mm-hmm.
to help other things stick to leaves, like a homemade pesticide or maybe some liquid feed. So the fact that Aang was looking for a natural alternative even for that purpose kind of signals they were already thinking about what they're putting on their plants
Yeah.
into the garden's little ecosystem. Even before finding this specific product, there was this idea of wanting something maybe gentler.
Right. So Aang makes the change, gets this new eco-friendly detergent, and the
Yeah.
first thing they do is check out the ingredients. Okay, let's unpack this. You've got aqua, deep sea salts, natural coconut fats, oils and powders, and then biodegradable fragrance. It sounds pretty green, doesn't it? On the surface.
Exactly. And Aang clocked it straight away. Aqua, that's just water. And deep sea salts. Well, that's basically salt, like table salt. Aang found it a bit funny, pointing at the whole natural coconut fats, oils, and powders thing. Like you said, what would unnatural coconut even be? It sort of highlights how natural on labels can be more about vibes than strict science sometimes. It's meant to imply, fewer synthetic things, maybe less processing, closer to the source. But really, for detergents, the key question isn't just, is it from a plant? It's more like, does it have the harsh stuff, the sulfates, the irritants you find in many conventional soaps? That's the difference that matters.
Okay, so labels can be a bit tricky, marketing words. But what about actually using it? What did Aang find? Because this is where it gets practical. And the first observation was pretty stark. It costs more. Definitely more expensive than the standard stuff.
Yeah, that cost factor is always there, isn't it? But what's fascinating is that even with the higher price, Aang pointed out two big pluses. It was, quote, much gentler on both the hands and the environment. So that makes you think, why prioritize that over cost? Especially for something used in the garden, too. Gentler on hands probably means fewer harsh degreasers, less stripping of natural oils. Makes sense if you wash up a lot or if you're handling it to spray plants. And for the environment, likely means it breaks down faster, maybe fewer things like phosphates that mess with waterways, cause algae blooms, that kind of thing. So it looks like a conscious choice, right? Trading some cash for, well, personal comfort and maybe some ecological peace of mind.
And all of this led Aang to feel pretty confident about it. The conclusion was, given its natural ingredients, it seems like a suitable alternative for my DIY gardening remedies.
hmm And that ties back to the bigger picture of the why. Why would natural ingredients and gentler properties be so appealing for garden remedies? Think about it if a detergent feels harsh on your hands. Imagine what it might do to delicate plant tissues. When you spray something on plants or pour it near the roots, you're directly interacting with that garden ecosystem. Conventional detergents. They often have surfactants, phosphates, other chemicals, things that can actually harm plants if concentrated. They can disrupt the soil microbes too. All the tiny bacteria and fungi that are super important for healthy soil and nutrient uptake. And they might even harm beneficial insects. So wanting natural and gentler isn't just fluff. It's about trying to minimize harm, making sure your solution doesn't cause a bigger problem down the line for your garden.
So this deep dive has really taken us from, a simple bottle of dish soap to its surprising second life in the garden, and then into thinking about what natural really means on a label, the cost versus benefit trade-off, the environmental side. It shows how these small, everyday choices can connect to bigger things.
It really does. Aang's whole experience makes you look twice at what's under your sink, doesn't it? It makes you wonder what other everyday things, cleaning products, whatever, might have these hidden uses or hidden impacts, especially when we look beyond just their main job description. What does this tell us about the power of these seemingly small choices we make every day? Like picking one detergent over another, It shows they can actually reflect our values, our goals, whether that's about keeping our hands comfortable or trying to be a bit kinder to our little patch of green. Definitely something to think about next time you're in the cleaning aisle.